Hello and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be doing, well, a bit of a show and tell / review of the Elucidian Starstriders, which are these people right here. What I'll do, we'll go table down in a second, but if you'd like to see more videos like this one, please hit the subscribe button and destroy the bell button so that you never miss an upload. Thank you. So, here we are, back on to the tabletop, effectively. So, regular viewers may have realised that I'm sort of doing this with my shaky hand style. This is mainly due to the fact that I now cannot seem to find my tripod, which is frustrating. I did want to make a video, I had a little bit of extra time today, and I realised I hadn't made one in a long time, and I've sort of been talking about it for ages. So I thought, action over words, and I just thought crack on, even if it's not perfect, it's imperfect, but it'll be done. So as you can see there, we've got the Elucidian Starstriders. It says 10 miniatures, which, if we're doing the maths, is basically 9 and a little doggy. Probably one of the more characterful, well, I think everyone, what's the word, gravitates towards the dog, don't they, really? So what do we get? It sounds like the start of a joke. What do you get if you cross the guard, and a rogue trader? You get the Elucidian Starstriders. That wasn't scripted. That was entirely random bad joke. So, initial thoughts. 10 models for kill team. Not a massive team. Not an extraordinary small team either. So not big, not small. And effectively what you've got is the guard portion and the character portion. The characters are not overly strong, but they're not underwhelming entirely. They've got some strengths and some techniques. These guys are going to be like a bit of a glass cannon in a way, but they're not OP. Anyway, models more specifically than the actual rules. So we have, I can't remember his name now. So he is the leader of the Starstriders, of these guys anyway, of the crew. And obviously, she's the big head honcho, big cheese. So what you've really got is, you've got 3 plebs. To my American viewers, they are just basic grunts, the plebeians, the underlings, the riffraff. This guy's smoking, I think. Either that or he's holding a bullet. 1 second, sorry. Try and get it in focus. No? There we go, slightly better. So I just painted it like an orangey colour, just to make it look like... Either that or it's lipstick. I mean, you guys can sort of decide whether you think it looks lipstick-esque or not. I did a usual dry brush, zenithal and all the rest of it. And then I did very, very excessively, very light coats, watered down coats of the blues, which is why the clothes look very dark but blue. And yeah, so that's this little chappy. I like the little helmets. I think they look cool. This one, I have a tendency to either paint white hair, blonde hair, or ginger. I wonder why I pick ginger quite frequently. And pretty certain this one's a lady girl. Girl. But again, dynamic pose, not bad at all. And then this fella, it's like he's just having a little wander, casually strolling, not in a rush. Less dynamic than the lady girl. Then we have this gentleman with the rotor cannon. Definitely looks like he's got a lot more character, way more. Obviously, he's standing on a rock, so I haven't based these because I wasn't entirely certain that I'm possibly not selling them as a thing. I do like, and I did want the Elucidian Starstriders for ages. But I wasn't entirely sure that I'm not going to paint them to sell them. And I've found, as a rule, generally, if I don't base models, they tend to sell slightly sooner than ones that have been based. And the main event, which everyone's really come to this video for, is the dog. So here's the dog, Aximilian. Did him similarly painted to the rest of the clan, is in gold and blue. Did him like a brown doggy. Didn't do him ginger. Now we move on to the character models. Here we have, I can't remember a name. I bet if I turn the box around, actually, it may actually tell us. In fact, it does, but it doesn't give us their actual names. The Rejuvenant Adept. Did her the blue and the green, and then like a random colour, blue, white, just like a white vial. Sort of nearly box art for me, and that's unusual because I don't normally do box art. Even like to be fair, the Voidsmen are practically the same, to be fair. They're not spot on, but they're close. So anyway, Rejuvenant Adept. White's notoriously a bit of a douche to paint, so that was fun. And I did the little gribbly at the bottom, which is obviously a Nurgle infected person. I sound like I'm infected by Nurgle, but I'm not. It's just phlegm, that's all it is. And yes, obviously I've got those guys painted too. Then we have the Lectra-Maester. So I painted him a little bit more like red because of the thing. Again, not far off the box art, and that's frustrating because I don't like doing box art. I feel like a shill, like someone who just, you know, I know that in of itself is hipsterism. So I'm a bit thingy, don't want to be against the grain too much, that I'm actually part of the grain. So yes, I have a constant tugging between the two parts of my personality. Death Cult Executioner. So I did paint this one slightly different. Can we see you? Where's the little head? There's the little head. Did them, again, like the Nurgle ones I've already done. Booty shot. Go for that. And yeah, so green hair. It goes again with the green hair element on some of the Galapox infected. There you go. I prefer to say Galapox rather than Jellopox. It offends me slightly, but each to their own. When people say Jellopox, I'm like, it's Gela. You know, come on, say the words right, please. Yeah, so this is again stone. Did it my usual lazy black, white, grey, black, grey, white. Dry brushing, as you can see, the dry brush strokes on there because that's the type of guy I am. Gold on the sword, and again, if we look at the box art, there's a slight difference. They went purple. It is different, in fact, because I don't like doing it if I can help it. So here is Elucidia Vein of the box art, and here is my version. So we can see, obviously, you know, my skill level is not as good as theirs. However, I did go a little bit more fanciful on the feathering. I tend to do the macaw style feather when I do when I do feathers on models. I went green again, tying to the Galapox, so when they're next to each other, they're fighting each other or vice versa. They will stand next to each other and sort of tie together. I think, to be fair, feels like a really flimsy model, and she's very thin, very svelte, and a lot of gold trims and such to paint. I probably did this a little bit wrong, but if I'm honest, I go for if I can be bothered. I know that's really lazy. Like, I probably could have done some details on these skeletons on her knee pads / boots. But yeah, I didn't. I don't know what the little gas mask thing is. The little gas canister, presumably to help her breathe. But allegedly, she doesn't look entirely human under there, which could mean she's maybe Gene Stealer-esque. Who knows? Some chaoticness floating in space all that time. But here is sort of my review of the Elucidian Starstriders. I got these painted in 2 sittings, my usual going, and I mean all 10 in 2 sittings. Now my sittings, sorry, I'm moving stuff around. My sittings can go on for like 4 hours each sitting, but after the third sitting, I get a bit bored. So speed is of the essence for me. So I think, again, from this distance, I think they look really good from this distance. Close up, you know, you can see the little imperfections, you can see all the little bits and bobs that should or should not be as they are. But I think they're I think they look good enough, which is my main point. When I did play a game with these guys, which I have only had one kill team game, I can't remember if we won or if it was close. I think it was a close game. Aximilian did basically run in, grabbed an objective, dragged it with him, and that's basically all he did. I think he died, I can't remember, but I think all of them died nearly. And I think some of them outperformed expectations. And especially, that's kind of why I like plebs. It's kind of like why I like low-pointed models in games as a rule, because you can send in, I'm going to use 40k as an example here. You can send a guardsman with a melter gun and he can do some damage. You can send in, I've seen it before where a demon prince slays an entire unit of guardsmen, and that lone guardsman who runs off and survives holds an objective, and because he doesn't have the rest of his unit camping next to him, he can't be seen, so he's really thingy. So again, these little guys who you don't expect a lot of outperform drastically. I can now tell you, looking at my phone from where I am currently making this video, that my timer is running out on my recording ability length of time. So I am going to end the video regardless of whether I wanted to or not, and hopefully this video gets uploaded very shortly, because I have not made a proper video, I will say, a correct video in a long time. So I'm hoping to get back into the rhythm of that. I'm also hoping to get back into the rhythm of painting and selling models again, which I have about a month or two ago painted some and then sold some again. So I'm looking to replicate the process. I'm not the world's best painter, but tabletop I can do to a decent standard-ish. And, all right, I think sometimes to a decent standard. And I think, therefore, evidence has suggested I can possibly earn a little bit of money from that. And considering I'm not currently loving my job, I think it could be the catalyst needed. Who knows? Fingers crossed. Again, the whole reason I pulled this camera out without my crikey, you can tell this is live, without my tripod is simply because actions over words. I can think and say I'm going to record videos, but it's better to do rather than to talk about. So this is why I cracked on. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think about the Elucidian Starstriders. And if you think, weirdly, it's pronounced Jellopox, you will be banned from the channel, but you can leave that comment anywhere before you get banned. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your lives.